I'm looking at her and I'm believing that she's an Episcopalian priest. And sometimes that's hard to do, but I could see it in her.
Yeah, she's
phenomenal,
fantastic.
yeah.
She's fantastic.
Now, what about the daughter?
The daughter is played by Caitlin Berger,
Yeah.
and she
a lovely girl.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
beautiful, and she's very, very wonderful. And she plays an only child of Alex and Charlie,
Yes, yeah.
and she's very used to getting her own way. And for her, a lot of love is reflected in what she's able to get from her parents.
Yes, yeah.
She's a little bit of a spoiled brat.
Yeah, I could tell that. Yeah.
So, but it's neat because her mother is always saying, love is a practice.
Right.
And the mother is always practicing her understanding of love. And at the end, it's love sometimes means not loving someone even when you're not giving them what they want.
Right. Yeah.
So she's a great character.
And the role of young Alex, played by Meg Rice.
Yes.
I understand this is one of her first acting jobs.
Yes, it is. And
uncanny.
She's incredible because
Wow.
because she's not encumbered at all by past acting experience and presentational style.
She was very natural.
Exactly.
Yeah,
she's very still
believable.
and very, very much in the moment.
The part I found very interesting was the gentleman who played Jesus.
Joan.
Yeah. I mean, at first I didn't understand who he was, but as the show went on, then I realized that he was sort of like the guardian angel to the priest, advising and so forth.
I think he's that little voice.
Yes,
the little angel on her shoulder that maybe not her conscience, but the voice that lets her know in what direction she should be going.
I love the way he played it too. He wasn't overly, I mean, he didn't come on strong or anything, but he was very, very mild and understanding.
Absolutely.
And what about the father?
The father is played by Alan Drury. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Drury. And he is so much fun because initially he's a little bit nervous about the fact that he has a lesbian daughter.
Yeah.
And he's not quite sure how to handle that. He doesn't know what shirt to wear. He doesn't know quite how to act. And then he meets the girlfriend.
Yes.
And suddenly he just kind of says, well, it is what it is.
This is it.
And he's very laid back and very relaxed. He's, he gets down with the girls. I mean, he's dancing with them and, is able to really talk with each of them about
the different issues.
Right, exactly, about how they met, which sets the Reverend on edge, of course, because she thinks that their daughter tells her everything. And so, but he's much more okay with...
Right, and I enjoyed the contrast between the father and the mother. It was so different.
And especially since it switches in Act 2.
Yes.
When all of a sudden it's he who's not okay with it, and she's the supportive one.
Yeah.
So he's also a great character.
Well, it's a great play. I thought the actors were tremendous, every one of them.
Thank you.
I couldn't find any fault with it. And I'm glad I was able to see it.
I'm glad you were able to come.
Well, thank you. Now, you've been doing this acting stuff for a long time now.
A little while, yeah.
Maybe since you were 4 years old? Is that what you told me earlier?
Right, yeah, when I played Gretel in The Sound of Music.
Oh, my goodness.
My sister's high school.
Really? Where did you go from Gretel? I understand you played this.
Yes,
you've been in
I've
Sound of Music several
through
times.
the gamut of Sound of Music roles. Yes. Gretel and Liesel and Berta and Margareta and finally Maria, and someday I'll be old enough to play the Reverend Mother. So,
well, that's a long way off. You've still got a long way to go for that.
I hope so.
Rachel, Walpole people would recognize you. You've been in. You've played with the Walpole Footlighters.
I have. About a year ago, I played Natasha in Rough Crossing.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Directed by Barbara Pettis.
Right.
Had a good time.
Yeah. How did you come about to play with the Footlighters? How did that happen?
I know Barbara Pettis, actually, from working at the Mansfield Music and Arts Society.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff down there.
She has done things there and with the New England Repertory Company.
Yes,
and
Tom Hunter and all.
Yes,
yeah.
And Mike Kiernan, and she tapped me to play the role pretty early on, and she said, she kind of slipped me the script and said, I think you want to take a look at this. So, I was happy to do that for her. We had a great time.
Are you, you're an actress, do you ever think of directing or doing anything further?
I directed once.
Did you really?
Yes. and I'll never do it again.
Oh, well, that kills my next statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe,
No, that's all right. I was going to say, I got an email from the Footlighters today, and they're looking for directors.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is something unusual for them.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought, well, maybe you're interested. No?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll just cancel that one out. Sorry, Footlighters. But you've done a lot of stuff in Boston, in the area. Tell me about some of it.
I think probably the group with which I've done the most is the Mansfield Music and Art Society.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Curtain Call Theater in Braintree. And
oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. That's my mother-in-law lived up the street from that, and I never knew that until one day I went down the street, not the way I usually went to her house. I had taken a different route, and I saw this theater. I said, oh, the Curtain Call Theater, I must check into that.
It's a wonderful group of people.
Is it really?
They are tremendous.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about them. I think the last show that I did there was Proof.
That's a great show.
Fall of 2010.
Yeah.
And it was a tremendous cast, and I think 3/4 of the cast was nominated for EMAC Awards.
Really?
And the sound and direction and best ensemble. I mean, it was a tremendous production. We had a great
How
time.
large a theater is that?
It's tiny.
It looked
I think
tiny.
It seats
Yeah.
40.
Oh, is that all?
It's very intimate. It's wonderful.
That's about. Is that smaller than Turtle Lane?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Turtle Lane is tables and chairs.
Yes.
Excuse
Turtle
me.
Lane is more kind of cabaret seating.
Yeah.
But, Curtain Call is wonderful. I really enjoy it.
I'll have to call them up sometime and ask them to come on our show.
You should.
Yeah, I
I'm
will.
sure
I'll
they
do
would.
that. Yeah.
And they're very active in EMACT, and they have great children's programs in the summer, and they're a nice.
How many shows do they do a year?
3 or 4.
Yeah, like Footlighters.
Yeah.
More or less.
They're great. They're in this. They rent space from the Puritan Bridge Club, which is located in a church on, right in the center of Braintree.
Yeah.
And it makes for a really neat space.
I'll bet it does.
Yeah.
You talked about working at Curtain Call and New England Rep. Now I know that you must know Mike Kiernan
Yes.
and Tom Hunter.
Yes.
Tell me about your relationship with them.
They are wonderful. Tom Hunter teaches acting classes for New England Repertory Company
Yeah.
in the summers, and it's a very method-based, and we have a great time doing scene studies and just really connecting with our scene partner and doing lots of warm-up exercises and finding out how to connect with that space in yourself that really finds you at home on stage. But Tom is an amazing director.
He really is. He has a great background.
He does.
I mean,
He's
this
done a
guy-
lot of films.
Yeah, a lot of films with big stars.
Right, right.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of spaghetti westerns, filmed in Italy. He's got
Wow.
some fantastic stories
I'll bet.
about his time in Italy. So he's wonderful. And then Mike directs most of the shows for New England Rep
Yeah.
at the MMAS Black Box Theater in Mansfield. And
Now,
they do some nice
the
stuff.
Black Box Theater, have they relocated in the last 10 years?
The last 10 years.
Yeah, I'm saying that
yes.
for a reason. I had gone down, the last time I was down there, they were in a very small facility, and I didn't know if they had expanded since then.
Well, they have definitely expanded. I want to say that they moved into their present location in maybe 2005, but they've expanded in that same spot. They've taken
Okay.
over like the whole building,
Oh,
and
all
now
right.
they have rehearsal rooms and an art
Oh,
studio,
okay.
and they've expanded the theater itself.
Yeah.
And they have a much larger lobby area, and I mentioned the art gallery. They've done some amazing things there.
Well, I know when the last time I was down there, which was a few years ago, the seating capacity was, I think, less than 50. It was very small.
I think at that point it was about 35.
Okay.
maybe. And I think it's probably doubled.
Doubled since then. Okay.
I would estimate.
Yeah. Well, you certainly get around, don't you?
In theater.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
What have you got lined up for the future?
Oh,
Anything good?
I don't know. I don't know. My children are very active Irish step
Yeah.
dancers, so
Oh.
they have the North American Irish Step Dance Competition championships comes up in July. So pretty much from here until the 4th of July.
Now, they're with Liam
They
Harmon.
are right here in Walpole.
Right here in Walpole. Well, At the beginning of the show, I talked about a little bit of Ireland at the Regal Theatre, and I know they performed in it last year. Are they going to be in it again this year?
They're not going to be in it this year.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, my younger son doesn't do the team dancing anymore, and my older son is too tall for the small team, but too small for the tall team. So
he's in between.
He gets this spring off. So
Okay.
they're both planning on playing baseball. As a
Oh, that's
result,
good.
so that's nice.
That's a good activity.
Yeah, well, of course, dance is first.
Do you think they'll ever go into theater?
You know, my older son has done some shows. He did Scrooge the Musical twice with me at MMAS, and it was wonderful. And the younger one actually has decided once that he wanted to do a film audition, and he auditioned for the film Ted, and actually got a screen test. He was called back and did a screen test and didn't get the part, but you know, he kind of said, "Oh, been there, done that," and now he's over it. So he doesn't, you know, if he never wants to do it, that's fine. But I think maybe his older brother might go back to it.
What are the names of your children?
My older son is Nathaniel, and the younger one is Jacob.
Okay. I'm hoping I see them someplace soon.
They're dancing all the time, all over the place. So I'm sure you'll see them. They have done the Christmas Celtic Sojourn with Brian O'Donovan at the Cutler Majestic.
Oh,
and
really?
At PPAC.
Oh, that's
and
really something good.
Venues in New Hampshire and, you know, all over the place. So,
Wow.
They've got some great experience under their belts.
God.
So, yeah,
These kids are going to Actors Equity pretty soon.
I know. So they have a good time. They really like it.
Do they, outside of show business, if I can use that term, what are their ambitions once they get out of school?
My older son, Nate, wants to be a herpetologist. He wants to study reptiles.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Which
he doesn't have any pets, does he?
He has a gecko named Herbie.
Oh, no.
That's where I'm drawing the line.
Okay.
He can have geckos, but no snakes.
Yeah.
And my younger son wants to be an architect.
Oh, great.
As you did, I understand.
That's right, yeah, when I was younger. A marvelous profession. They both are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the younger one becomes a chef. He loves to cook.
Does he really?
He does. He makes a mean butternut squash risotto
You're kidding,
at the age
really?
of 9.
Wow.
He's so fun.
You must give me the recipe after the show.
I will be happy to.
What brought him into cooking?
I honestly think that it's the show Chopped. You know, he just
Oh,
we were
watching it.
watching
Yeah.
this crazy reality game show once about, you know, these 4 chefs that have things like
Yeah.
mussels, Honey Nut Cheerios,
Oh, yeah.
mayonnaise, and cotton candy, and they have to turn it into an appetizer. And I came home from the grocery store last night and opened my bag, and Jake started to laugh because he said, "Oh, Bubba, you could be on Chopped." He said, "You could take those lamb shanks and coat them in the peanut butter and then roll them in the squished cereal." And I just thought, "Ooh, I don't know if that would work," but he loves to mess around in the kitchen. So
I think that's
fun.
wonderful.
Yeah, he's fun. He's great.
Well, between the dancing and the cooking and your acting, well, you've got quite a family
We
there.
have a busy household.
I guess you do, yeah.
We have a good time.
Well, Rachel, it's been wonderful having you on the show today.
Guy, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry that Meg couldn't make it, but
I
I'm
am
glad
too.
again that you were able to come see the show.
Well,
There's a
I'm
lot
glad.
of
I'm glad I
really-
was able to. I'm glad I was able to see you, and I will see you down at our accountant's office one of these days.
Absolutely. I'll look forward to it. Please make sure you say hi.
I shall. Thank you very much for being on the
Thank
show,
you.
Rachel.
Thank you.
Well, that's Rachel Parkman Fisher. I got it right.
Sure.
And you've been watching Preview. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.